What's up, guys? Welcome to Keto Rewind. I'm Jess. Today's day 13 of the Keto Rewind Clean 30 Challenge. Also, almost completely through week 2. We've just one more day left after this, so kudos to you for getting this far, for working it, and getting it done. So I hope you've enjoyed these recipes. These are easy beginner keto recipes. Also, you can save money if you want to follow along and do exactly what I do. Use the discount codes down below. And I'm explaining the macros at the end of the video, so if you've got questions there, just comment below. And I hope you've enjoyed the new format where I'm not going into so much detail and wasting too much time on it. I'm just like kind of, here's what we learned and move forward. So maybe next week I'll give you another few tips. But I don't want to overwhelm you, so I'm just giving a little bit of tips at a time on how to use Carb Manager. But anyways, let's get into the full day of eating keto. Okay, so we have 8 eggs, 8 tablespoons of cream cheese, and 8 tablespoons of butter. So the original recipe is you just add nutmeg and cinnamon to this. So I have 2 loaf pans, so I'm gonna make the 2 versions. But the normal recipe, you would just use a brownie pan like this. So optional, you can add some sweetener. But because I am dividing this mix in half, I'm gonna do one of them as the usual recipe, and one of them I'm gonna add a scoop of vanilla whey protein powder, just to see if it firms it up any, as purely for an experiment. So anyways, let's blend this up. And if you get your ingredients at room temperature, you won't need a Vitamix or any special equipment. But I literally just took that stuff out of the fridge and we're gonna blend it up. But if your ingredients are room temperature, just a whisk and a bowl is all you'll need. Okay, just going to pulse it a few times, and it takes no time in a Vitamix. So take it, and then you're gonna put your spices and your sweetener, optional. And then that's what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in the first loaf pan, and then I'll come back and with the second half of the batter and put the protein powder in it. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll meet you back. So now this is the second part. There's the 1 scoop of protein powder. Got to blend it one more time and then put it in the second loaf pan. And I'm going to put both of these in my air fryer for 350 degrees for 25 minutes. Pull it out and check the center if it's done. If it, depending on your oven, cooking times will vary. So there's the one without the protein powder. It's not as fluffy. And the one that does have the protein powder is fluffy. So it did make it a little bit denser. Taste-wise, I did try both, but I preferred the one with the protein powder. Plus it gave me my extra protein without having to have a shake. So there it is with 3 Canadian bacon slices and 2 servings of the loaf. So now let's make dinner. I'm using these frozen chicken tenders from Costco. Can't be picky right now with the meat because they were sold out of fresh chicken, so we went frozen. And I'll have it with roasted broccoli. So first I'm going to zero out my scale and measure out a little over a pound of chicken. Being that it's frozen, I'm going to do 1 pound 4 ounces just because it's a little heavier when it's frozen, because it has some water and moisture all in it too. So I'm just going to go a little over a pound, but this is going to feed the 4 of us. And once it hits to be a pound, that's good. And we're going to make the marinade for it. So there's the frozen chicken, and it's going to thaw out pretty quick because the tenders are small. I'm using coconut aminos. It's a teriyaki marinade. So a 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. And then I like that because there's no soy, and there's no gluten in that. And then I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. You're going to want to use avocado oil when you do anything on a grill or anything with higher heat. Avocado has a higher smoke point, making it a healthier oil to cook with. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm using turmeric. It's a great spice for health reasons. Definitely Google that. But I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of the turmeric, the garlic powder, and the onion powder. You can adjust it to your own taste, but I just love these flavors together. So if you don't like a spice, just leave it out, look away, whatever you need to do. And then I'm going to also add pepper. Now remember, because the coconut aminos kind of has like a sodium, like it's got salt in it. So don't add sodium. It'll make it super salty. But I am going to do a tablespoon because it's a teriyaki. I'm looking for a tablespoon of powdered Lakanto, monk fruit sweetener. I'll link that down below in case you can't find that locally at your stores. Whisk it around till all the ingredients are incorporated. It's a delicious marinade. I've been making this marinade so many times over the past year and a half. I'll do all kinds of reasons to make that marinade, whether it be a veggie stir fry or just a grilled chicken or a grilled steak. It's tried and true and delicious. So pour your marinade all over your chicken, and using some tongs, give your chicken some, like, just stir it around. My chicken is already softening up from frozen, so let that just set and marinate. Next, I'm using my scale. I like my scale because it has a pull-out screen, so I can put a pan right on top of it. Write down all of your ingredients and the weights. It's the way that's just like the secret. And plus you're going to forget. So take your broccoli crown and take off all the florets. And I'm looking for enough for all 4 of us. My kids will eat broccoli. They'll eat their weight in broccoli. So, and it's because I let them dip them in ranch. The secret. Mommy's ranch too. So anyways, there was 750 grams total of raw broccoli. And the next thing I'm going to do is just put the scale away and then just make all of those broccoli florets the same size, because you want it to cook evenly. You don't want some of them to be crunchy and some of them to be burned. So just cut them all up so the florets are about the same size. And then we're going to put 6 tablespoons of avocado oil on the broccoli. And then I'm going to also just make a pile a little smaller so it will be easier to mix them up and get the oil spread on everything. And drizzle that avocado oil all over it. Meanwhile, preheat your oven to 400 degrees so that you can just pop these in the oven while your chicken's cooking on the grill. And then I'm going to add salt and pepper. I do probably 2 or 3 finger pinch of salt. It's roughly a 1/4 teaspoon each time I do that. I actually measured. So measure your pinch. So anyways, I'm going to put some pepper as well, just a 3 finger pinch of pepper. Again, salt and pepper it to your taste. It's the right amount for me. I'm going to use my hands and get all up in there and make sure everything is evenly coated. And then we're going to pop that in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Flip them and then see how much longer you may or may not need. The chicken is ready to be flipped. It's on the grill. And it's going to, there's the finished product of the roasted broccoli. It is a fantastic way to eat broccoli. I am sure it's a crowd pleaser. You've got to definitely try it. And there is the finished product of the cooked chicken tenders with the keto teriyaki marinade. And there's my plate. Like I said, you can adjust your serving sizes, everything based off of, sorry, there's a blower in the background. They're doing the lawn right now. But adjust your serving sizes based on your macros. And speaking of macros, let's go do the macros. Okay, so let's go over the macros. Today, I went ahead and, because I'm going to make these recipes often, I went ahead and logged them all ahead of time. I will pull up exactly what I did. All I did was create a recipe, and I will show you what was in here. The egg loaf is really simple. It's basically butter in equal proportions, butter, eggs, cream cheese, and a scoop of protein powder, which was optional. So anyways, the macros for 2 slices was 3 net carbs, 45 grams of fat, 22 grams of protein. So just log how many servings that you had, because that one recipe makes 4. Because remember, I halved the loaf. We had the non-protein version and we had the protein version. So in total, if you were not making it the way I did it, it would have only been 8 servings. But because I did it in half, I had the half that had the protein powder. So anyways, I had 2 servings of that because, you know, it fit in my macros. And then I had on the side the Canadian bacon. So moving on to lunch, dinner. I had the teriyaki chicken with the roasted broccoli. So I also, because this is a teriyaki sauce that I make all the time, it was already logged because, you know, I like to make that all the time. And to save time, you create a recipe. And then it also stores your ingredients for you while you are, you know, so you don't have to go find this recipe every single time you want to make it. So just log into Carb Manager. So I had the 1 serving of that. And then I had 8 ounces of frozen. It ended up being 6 ounces cooked, but frozen is always heavier. And then I had 250 grams of that broccoli and 2 tablespoons of the the avocado oil. And as usual, I always have my keto coffee with heavy whipping cream and unflavored collagen. So being that my macros and carbs were kind of higher because the egg loaf and the teriyaki sauce both had sweetener in them. So that was 18 of my 19 carbs. There are carbs also in nuts. So I skipped the nuts because I figured I've reached my other macro amounts as well. So I did not need to have those, and I also was not hungry. So remember, my calories are showing low because I have 532 calories burned during my 5-mile walk. So it's deducting that from my total. It's really, 1,1400-ish is what I actually had. But because it takes it away, it shows the net 854. So anyways, I am feeling good about today. It was another great day. And like I said, if you were hungry, you could have totally had the nuts, but I was not hungry. I was satisfied with it. And my macros were pretty on point as it was. So I didn't find it necessary to have the nuts. But again, if you have different serving sizes or whatever, you may have the room. So the nuts are there for you. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, day 13 of the Keto Rewind Clean 30, and I will see you tomorrow at the last day of the week, last day of week 2, so day 14. So we'll see you. I'm Jess. Keep being great. I'm Jess, and you're watching Keto Rewind. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.